He's going to have the right to testify or not in his own defense. Is he going to do it? He has no prior criminal history, just this instant case that's in question. Let's talk about it with our legal analyst guest, attorney John Mobley. Okay, John, if you're a betting man, what do you think this guy is going to do when the judge asks him if he wants to testify?
Well, it's interesting that you say that because, what I was thinking about was before the break when you mentioned the statement his defense attorneys made in their opening about the defendant believing he was the victim of a federal or government conspiracy. And I think everyone's somewhat surprised that his lawyer said that in the opening. And I think, this kind of leads into where the defendant's rights kind of not conflict, but kind of end with the attorney's authority in the trial. The defendant has a right to testify. As you indicated, if he wants to testify, he can. He can get up there and say whatever he wants to say. His lawyers can't tell him what to say, can't make him not testify. He has a right to get up there and say that he was a victim of a government conspiracy and he was set up. He can say all those things. However, for our viewers, the defendant's attorney actually has the right to control the trial strategy. The defendant in a criminal case does not have the right to control trial strategy. So while the defendant is free to get up there and say whatever he wants, his attorney can still say, something, we're not going with that. That's not a valid defense. That's not a credible defense. This is how we're going to defend this case. And that's where the defendant's rights kind of end and the attorney's authority kind of begins. Now, realistically, if you've been paid by the defendant and they're actually paying you as opposed to you being appointed by the court, if you don't defend the case they want, then they're going to fire you and they're going to hire somebody else. So, but in this case, I can't understand the advantage he would have to testify. I mean, typically, when I'm trying to assess whether the defendant's going to testify, I look at what they have to gain, and I'm not seeing what he has to gain by testifying.
Right, John. Yeah, just gonna keep digging that hole even further that he's already in. We got more of that interrogation video coming up. John Mobley, thanks so much for spending part of your Wednesday with